The golden records are also designed to be messages informing aliens of our planet. After all, the Voyager probes won't dissipate like radio waves, though they're much slower. If by some miracle an alien found and decoded the record, they'd discover along with images and music, sounds of Earth, including chimpanzee noises.
Okay, I don't know if we should send all that to the fucking motherfuckers. Like, it sound like intimidating. Like, you could have sounded like a baby cooing. You could have sounded like a dog or like birds humming. People singing beautiful music, and then instead you send them a fucking, I don't even know, bruh. Like, imagine an alien receives raw wave snippets cause the Earth is doomed.
Though space madness is no longer an official term, anxiety, mood swings, and severe emotional distress have all been documented in those who have touched the void.
Imagine sending a person with anxiety deep into space for shits and giggles. Like, imagine back in like the 1960s and 70s and 80s, where it was like trying to like grasp a firm understanding of space and like what it does to a person's psyche. They accidentally send like a PTSD riddled soldier in that bitch. Not even like 2 minutes, you just hear screaming. What if you launch a monkey into a supernova?
100 degrees, the Jew zero. Rockstar Racky, raps guitar hero. Leopard through batons like Speedos on Stevo.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 3:14 a.m. right now, bro. I deadass went to sleep and woke up feeling like a burst of energy. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to make some videos, but I wanted to make some videos off some stupid shit. So why not me react to the beautiful horror of deep space? Yeah, that's what we're doing today. But you know what's crazy? I was so pumped up and hyped to make videos, but then I realized that my car, where I record videos in, Hoodydude, why do you record videos in your car? Cuddy, why do you eat food when why do you have a shitty diet? Okay, then. But like, bruh, I had to walk like half a mile to get to my car to record videos, so that kind of burned a lot of my stamina. Now I'm tired again. I ain't gonna lie, gang. But speaking of tired, bruh, why is Buddy Healed on the lead, bro? Buddy Healed is so trash. Hoodydude, he kick your ass. Oh, okay? He can't kick the other team's ass. I hope he can kick my ass. I'd hope so. But he can't kick the other team's ass because he trash. He's garbage. Basura, ass, culo, dick. He's bad, bruh. But whatever, that's over here or there. Because we're learning about the beautiful horror of deep space, right? Because why the fuck not? Lock in. Ooh, ow.
If the world was ending, and you could save only 116
You aura farming. No mom or dad has ever done this in front of their child, like with their child in front of like the sunlight, gang. Go get ready for work, bro. No one has ever done this.
Images as the final record of planet Earth. What kind of moments would you preserve?
My first victory royale and my first LeBron game that I saw.
This is an actual question NASA faced in 1977 when they decided to attach to the Voyager spacecraft.
Let's turn up the quality a bit. I know y'all can turn up the quality, but I can't. I want to see the beautiful horror of deep space in its beautiful quality, bro.
Golden records encoded with a selection of photos intended to immortalize life on our fragile planet.
Ooh.
And when I look at these pictures, which...
Wait, hold on, bro. Is that... Wait, hold on. Hoodydude, why are you pausing this early? Fuck you. Like, hold on. I had to call this shit out, bro. Like, look at this gazelle aura farming, bro. Could he stare around at the camera? I see you. Ultron ass. Ultron ass.
When I look at these pictures, which have now left our solar system and are hurtling out into the cosmic dark,
that ass head, cause that's Rihanna.
Get out of my head how they will probably, one day, be all that's left of us. In the vacuum of space, these images could last for billions of years, outliving the Earth, outliving the sun. And though that should maybe be comforting, I think it scares me.
Jesus. Okay! I'm excited! Could he watch this video leave me with like deep scarring and PTSD? Like after, like when I'm recording the outro, you can hear my lips quivering. I'm like a kid watching fucking John Cena turn heel. What?
Space has long been a birthplace of existential dread.
Oh.
Early astronaut programs were haunted by concerns of space madness.
That's a fucking thing?
The theory that humans would be mentally and spiritually broken by entering the celestial abyss.
Imagine Katy Perry lost her mind. She came back. You're like talking in Jalen Hurts Thanos quotes.
It makes sense. Space is a death trap. Without a spacesuit, the very blood in your veins would form bubbles that block circulation, the neurons in your brain exploding with pain until lack of oxygen causes you to pass out, with death arriving just 90 seconds later. Even a successful voyage involves a prolonged period in cramped seclusion surrounded by the hostile dark. Though space madness is no longer an official term, anxiety, mood swings, and severe emotional distress have all been documented in those who have touched the void.
Imagine sending a person with anxiety deep into space for shits and giggles. Like, imagine back in, like, the 1960s and 70s and 80s, where it was, like, trying to, like, grasp a firm understanding of space and, like, what it does to a person's psyche. They accidentally send, like, a PTSD-riddled soldier in that bitch. Not even, like, 2 minutes, you just hear screaming. Ah! What if you launch a monkey into a supernova?
The idea that a human mind plunged into the infinite sea of space might, drown, has crept into the foundations of how we depict the cosmos. In 2001: A Space Odyssey, the narrative begins in the shallows, depicting a clean, orderly future of space travel that would have been comforting to its late 60s audience. Yet in both the film and the novel, these early space scenes are a facade, a veneer of fathomability concealing the gaping maw of the unfathomable. The deeper you descend into the story, the clearer it becomes.
I ain't gonna lie, you couldn't have ran with a better form. Like, I'm not trying to run, like, get on your ass a bit, but like, you're running like my mom, gang. You're running like the neighborhood moms, just, fucking jogging and shit, taking up the goddamn sidewalk as I'm trying to fucking hoop and shit, cutty. PTA meetings, though. The HOA's on my ass. Like, bruh. Fuck that. I ain't gonna lie, gang. If you are part of a homeowners association, cutty, you are my ups. Like, real talk, bruh. Hoodydude, what is that? A fucking A. The homeowners association are fucking demons, cutty. The Akatsuki. That's what they are. Fuck those guys.
That all the artificial gravity and neatly
He's doing a Rocky punch, cutty. Relax, gang.
divided meals amount to a futile attempt to give order to a chaotic universe.
Big back.
Like space itself, 2001 ultimately proves immense and impenetrable.
Wait, what the fuck did that chimpanzee? Wait, what the hell? Wait, wait, what did that chimpanzee do, bruh? Hold on, bruh. Yo, look at this motherfucker, this freaky ass, bruh. He's gooning. Cuddy, these are prehistoric times, bro. This is iconic history. This is the first recorded gooner. Look at my mans, bro.
Penetrable.
What the fuck you doing? Okay, that's y'all.
Feeling like something the mind wasn't meant to fully encompass. A counterpoint to this vastness exists in Andrei Tarkovsky's film Solaris.
Okay.
The story of a psychologist sent to a research station where all crew members have become trapped within their own memories. Solaris is technically another tale of spaceborne madness. Yet while 2001 spans from the dawn of humanity to a nebulous future stage of evolution, the scale of Solaris is intensely personal. Despite primarily taking place in space, the film, like the characters, constantly flashes back to small, intimate moments on Earth.
That's sweet.
Far from a story of humanity's ascension, Solaris makes the case that the maddening power of space has less to do with the stars and more to do with the trauma we carry with us.
And who fucked my mans up? Cause he ran into the supernova Johnny Storm. Oh.
Into the dark. Like preserved photographs, the past lingers, both a steadying anchor and a crushing weight.
He's scripting.
In the face of a vast, indifferent universe, how do we decide what moments to hold on to? The game Outer Wilds forces you to confront this question over and over and over again. You play as an alien exploring the cosmos in a worryingly low-tech spaceship, and the main thing you do in Outer Wilds is, well, die. The game is a crash course in why space is so nightmarish, but every failure is an opportunity to learn from your mistakes. Because, spoiler alert for the first 22 minutes of the game, every time you perish, you're sent backward.
Okay, I'll go fuck myself then. I go fuck myself. Fixed it.
Backwards to the start of a time loop. It's a mechanic that changes the value of each moment. Though I remained cautious for my first few loops, I soon began to throw myself into the void without care, all my fears of space blown away. Simultaneously,
POV, my Nissan Rogue getting taken away by the goddamn F5 hurricane.
I began to skip over smaller moments. Why waste time roasting a marshmallow or speaking with a friend if all this is going to be reset anyways? Yet at the end of each life, Outer Wilds displays images depicting all you've accomplished, your very own golden record. It's a feature that subtly reframes what experiences are significant. Watching the sunrise might not get you any closer to beating the game, but when your life literally flashes before your eyes, it's the moment that stands out. Yet there's this other moment that stands out.
What?
Late into the game, I became separated from my ship. I wasn't too nervous at first. I knew I could definitely catch up with, oh wow, that's really moving. Caught in the gravity of a planet, my ship faded further and further out of view. Soon, it was hopeless. And as I looked out across oblivion, I realized this loop wasn't going to end until I ran out of oxygen.
Gang, just swim to the ship. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This would never happen to me, bro. You know why? One, because I would be attached to the hip like a keychain to my ship. But also, I'm a good swimmer. You feel me? Huss. 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 And then I'll like take off like the pants of the suit. Boom. Acceleration, Cuddy. Propel. You feel me? That's what I would do. A motherfucker like me would survive. I'm just saying. I'd throw y'all and jump off of y'all. You be alright.
And though I knew I'd wake back up where I started, the thought of drifting until then, waiting for my inevitable demise, made me feel, well, it reminded me of a historical fragment I'd learned long ago.
Wait, what the fuck? Okay.
The first living thing to orbit the Earth was a dog named Leica. Part of a Soviet experiment to discover the harmful effects of space on a body, Leica's journey through the stars was designed to be strictly one way.
Why didn't they send like a raccoon or some shit? Why a dog?
Sent to space on board a tiny metal coffin. It was assumed she'd die in space from running out of oxygen.
Bro, they're trying to make a slushy, gang.
Instead, the craft overheated. The last words she likely ever heard was a biologist saying, "Please forgive us."
Why?
My ill-fated drift through the cosmos didn't end when I ran out of oxygen either. Instead, my body slowly fell into the sun, the voyage concluding in premature flames.
Imagine this being like in the Marvel or DC universe. You see a fucking astronaut just like spiraling into the sun.
Of course, unlike Leica, my journey then continued, although the unsettling experience stayed with me.
Yeah, Leica could turn into fucking slush.
On board her doomed craft, Leica's heart rate accelerated to 3 times its usual rate. She was terrified. Did she also feel betrayed, I wonder?
I would assume so. She probably thought they were like, you know, it's like the best walk ever, and then boom, you get turned into fucking, like, Billy Butcher's brain from The Boys season 4.
Did she understand enough of what was happening to feel betrayed? There's a photo of a dog on the golden record, meant to commemorate the loyalty of our canine friends. Please forgive us, Leica. Should she forgive us?
No! Okay, what do you mean us? I didn't do shit. I would have opposed that bitch. But should she fucking forgive the astronauts? No! Fuck those motherfuckers.
The trajectory of this ship is unchanging. In Douglas Trumbull's Silent Running, a vessel is on an unalterable path towards annihilation. In Claire Denis's High Life, a vessel is on an unalterable path towards annihilation. In Cecile Richards' Under a Star Called Sun, a vessel is on a... you get it.
Yeah.
As a piece of interactive fiction, Under a Star Called Sun stands out from the two films, telling through pixel art and short snippets of text the story of a lone cosmonaut whose ship is drifting into the sun. Yet despite their hopeless status, the explorer continues to care for the plants on board their condemned vessel. It's a ritual the protagonists of all three pieces of media take part in for different reasons. In Silent Running, the plants are the last specimens of vegetation from a barren earth, a final record of green that must be preserved. In High Life, the plants are the sole source of food for the main character and his infant child.
Why does he have an infant child?
A matter of survival. Yet none of these characters is going to survive for very long, though they continue to obsess over their plant's health.
I mean, well, not with that attitude, you dick.
Maintaining routines even knowing the end is coming. I check on the plants in the greenhouse. I check for bugs. I check the moisture of the soil. I check the dust on the leaves. And when no one is around, I hum to them.
He humps the leaves.
Like the crew in Solaris, the astronaut in A Star Called Sun is trapped in their memories, the ship's interior sometimes distorting into a street corner from their past. Memories invade the film High Life with similar abruptness. Vignettes from the main character's childhood coming and going without context. It seems reflective of how the protagonist's child only knows Earth from fragmented images on the ship's corrupted hard drive. Instead of a sun, the ship in High Life is headed towards a black hole. And yet the main character continues to raise his child, to give her whatever life he can, no matter how short. Despite the looming cosmic destruction, the film argues these moments matter, these memories hold weight. I wish I had made more of an effort to remember.
Yeah, fuck nihilism.
The protagonist says at the end of A Star Called Sun. I wish I had taken more photos.
Oh. I'm gonna take a photo right now, bro. Me recording in my car. Memories. In 2 years' time, I'm balding and fat and I have one leg. Diabetes has killed me. Straights kill me.
In addition to images, encoded on the golden record is the Javanese romantic melody Puspa Warna,
Pussy Warner.
translating to kinds of flowers. I think there's something inspiring about this song traveling on in defiance of the cosmos, billions of kilometers from the nearest flower. There's also something profoundly unsettling about it, because on an interstellar scale, Voyager 1 has gotten nowhere. Even the closest star is trillions of miles further away. Space is so much emptier than we realize. When we think of the planets, our mind goes to the model from classrooms that has them all in a neat row. But space doesn't look like this. It doesn't even look like this.
Really?
That's still way too close together. It looks like this.
Oh. Yeah, that would fuck me up if I was an astronaut, I ain't gonna lie.
That tiny pale blue dot beneath Saturn's rings, that's the Earth.
Small ass.
And everything in space is constantly
moving. I knew
moving,
that.
hurtling through the dark at breakneck speeds. We like to think of that darkness as something loud, something that ships can audibly whoosh through. But without air molecules to vibrate, the vacuum of space is silent.
Silent, yeah.
There are no explosions either, at least not the fiery type from sci-fi movies. A real space battle would be dead quiet, punctuated only with the occasional burst of heat that would quickly implode. How is anyone supposed to navigate this vast, silent, alien sea?
Yeah, Hoodydude. See, the Earth is just a floating rock, bruh. It really doesn't. Shut the fuck up and do your homework, gang. Oh my god, I hate people like that. Bruh, did we live in a floating rock? It doesn't matter what we do. I'm gonna drink and drive. What the fuck?
In our ongoing search for extraterrestrial life, we've turned to radio waves to make noise in the cosmos.
Dude, imagine if Katy Perry ran into one of those, I forgot what those Star Wars creatures. Hold on, bro. I gotta remember. Alright, I'm back. Dude, imagine if Katy Perry ran into the coup, bro. Home base to Katy Perry. What do you see? What do you see? Just turns into these motherfuckers, gang. I was gonna do a. This is y'all. I could fuck up the queue.
Some of these signals have traveled as far out as 300 trillion kilometers. Want to see that on a map?
No.
Here it is.
Oh.
Sorry, I'll zoom in. Maybe once more. There, that's the area our messages have reached.
Really? Damn, bro. You need to update our fucking settings, Cuddy. Or dude, what the fuck is that setting? The chunk loader? No, we're like render distance. Could we update our render distance, bro?
It's another pale blue dot. And it's probably an exaggeration because
You think this is the Iron Giant's dick?
most of our signals, which are primarily a jumble of old TV and radio dramas, likely fall apart after that many light years, the memories blurring into meaningless static. In the game The Anglerfish Project, it is your job to sort through the static.
That's
You play as an old man working for a mysterious company in the far reaches of space, using a probe attached to an actual fishing pole to catch and document wayward signals from Earth. Most are a jumble of nonsense, old
The
advertisements
most humane food ever tastes like chicken, but has no chicken. The favorite of the Foundation. Employees try it out.
and PSAs,
Okay.
but sometimes you'll reel in a love letter or a
Aw.
fragment of history.
If you have any machinery of this kind, please bring it to the closet disposal center.
It's a lonely,
What if you get like a booty call?
isolating experience that encourages you to reflect on the types of messages we've blasted into the void. It made me wonder what an alien intelligence would even make of our detritus.
They're gooning.
Beyond being time capsules, the golden records are also designed to be messages informing aliens of our planet. After all, the Voyager probes won't dissipate like radio waves, though they're much slower. If by some miracle an alien found and decoded the record, they'd discover along with images and music, sounds of Earth, including chimpanzee noises.
Okay, I don't know if we should. I don't know if we should send all that to the fucking motherfuckers. Like it sound like intimidating. Rawr, rawr. Like it could have sounded like a baby cooing. It could have sounded like a dog or like birds humming. People singing beautiful music, and then instead you send them a fucking. You send them. I don't even know, bro. Rawr, rawr. Like imagine an alien receives raw wave snippets because the Earth is doomed.
I'm not entirely sure an alien would understand the intent behind that one.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure I do.
I'll be scared.
But what if, right? What if these records made contact?
Cuddy, we getting sniped right where we stand, bro. Earth getting, dude. The aliens pulling a JFK on the Earth somehow.
What if extraterrestrials understood their contents and traced the craft back to Earth?
Yeah, we're fucked.
If I'm being honest, the scariest moment of the Outer Wilds probably wasn't that time I fell into the sun.
Bro, I fun with this content, but like dude, the Outer Wilds traumatized my mans, bro. God damn, Outer Wilds is fucking horrifying, dude. I need to replay that game.
But when I descended into a fog in the center of a planet
Oh, hell
and
no.
saw, are those stars? They were, in fact, the lights of giant alien anglerfish.
Okay, that would actually unnerve the shit out of me. Like, imagine playing this late at night. Dude, I don't do drugs, but imagine playing this shit off shrooms or, dude, off tabs.
And unfortunately, they noticed me.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Maybe we don't want aliens to hear us.
Yeah, you know, but the Lakers need a center, so.
The dark forest hypothesis is the theory that the reason space seems so devoid of life is because any species that makes too much noise is
It's put down,
extinguished
yeah.
by hostile extraterrestrial life.
I actually heard about this theory before. Shut the fuck up, Cuddy. I'm not dumb. Who y'all be watching? I'm not stupid. I know string theory, cuck.
Science fiction has long told
The day the Earth stood still when this fucking fuck-ass alien killed everybody.
stories of humans alerting something to our presence we should have left alone.
What if you send an OnlyFans model to interact with an alien?
In some horror fiction, these aliens roll up to our home planet, bringing the destruction directly to us. But I think the scarier incarnation of
space.
horror alien is one encountered in the far reaches of space. The aliens in these stories often feel like personifications of the unknown itself, a punishment for our blind, hubristic push into the beyond.
Okay, that's his dumbass fault. Why the fuck would you look into that bitch like it was a fucking face mask, gang?
It's not just the aliens that make the edge of space horror genre frightening. It's the isolation. Okay, having said that, we now obviously have to talk about the game Alien Isolation.
Yes, sir.
Based on the iconic film franchise, this game has you explore an empty ship. Empty except for, of course,
an alien.
The alien. There's a litany of techniques the game uses to make this creature scary. There's the fact your weapon barely works, the fact it can move through vents, the fact that your only way of tracking it is with this tiny analog screen that forces you to glance away from what's in front of you. But the most effective technique of all has nothing to do with the creature and everything to do with the setting.
Yeah.
An effective horror genre space station.
Oh, this game was so good. I remember playing it on my Xbox. Alien Isolation so
basically a haunted house. Though lacking in cobwebs and creaking floors, it is a place of dim corridors concealing monsters, one that sequesters its characters from any hope of rescue. The cosmos beyond the station can be seen as part of the structure, with space itself a single enormous horror set piece, a setting so frightening you almost don't need the alien. Is a space filled with hostile life scarier than a space that's empty?
No, I'm not gonna lie, I never got the whole, are we really alone, like, fear thing. One, I don't think we're alone. I feel like the space is too vast, something's gotta exist. Like, even bacteria or, like, germs had to exist in some other distant planets that constitute as alien life, you feel me? But the whole, like, what if we're all alone out here? It never really unnerved me. Like, okay, gang, like, we're not gonna run into them then. We probably are never gonna run into alien life within our lifetime. Actually, that's not true. Didn't the government confirm, like, the government already confirmed, like, alien life, like, UFOs and shit? Well, like, even then, we're still standing. Well, you know, knock on wood. But, like, I say this shit. Dude, a fucking alien is watching this shit. Oh, for real? A word? This motherfucker's the reason for your civilization's downfall. And he points at me out. You remember Sam Witwicky and Transformers like 2 and shit? Where his name plastered everywhere with the FBI. That's not even to do me, bro. That would happen to me. I ain't gonna lie. No, my luck.
Arthur C. Clarke, author of 2001: A Space Odyssey, famously stated, "Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not."
Or we are the universe. We're one with it. I feel like it's an actual theory. Yeah, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson fucking says some shit like that. That the universe is us. We are the universe. I kind of like the theory that we are the universe experiencing itself. I actually really like that theory. But imagine the universe experiences a life of, like, the IRS. Since Section 8 housing. Yeah, I gotta get all walks of life. The universe is experiencing me. God. It could do better.
Both are equally terrifying.
No, the fuck they're not. I'd rather be alone, bruh. No, I'd rather be alone as opposed to, like, alien life squirming around me and then the coup show up and turn me into, like, a meat cube, bruh. Turn me into Plankton's fucking meat from the fucking... What's Plankton's restaurant again? The Chum Bucket? Hell no.
Here on Earth, we are perhaps the most sheltered children of the universe. Solar wind from our sun shields us from interstellar radiation, creating an island of safety in the roiling cosmic ocean.
Sun.
Jupiter defends Earth from asteroids like a protective older sibling with its gravitational pull.
Thank you, Big Back.
Earth's magnetic field extends tens of thousands of kilometers into space, safeguarding the surface from deadly charged particles. Mars and Venus didn't get magnetospheres at all.
Yeah, they just got fucked.
It's difficult to convey just how inhospitable the other planets in our solar system are. Jupiter's great red spot, that little dot on the planet's surface, is a storm larger than the Earth itself. If you were to descend into this maelstrom, temperatures would rise to over 1,300 degrees Celsius, around 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit. Not even the cracked, yellowing surface of Venus, otherwise the hottest planet in our solar system, gets that scorching. On the opposite side of the spectrum,
Neptune.
the outer ice giants, Uranus and Neptune, spin so far from the warmth of the sun their atmospheres
cold, yeah.
regularly fall hundreds of degrees below freezing. Beyond our solar system, there are likely billions of exoplanets in our galaxy alone, although we've only managed to spot around 5,000. But given the sheer number of potential Earth-like worlds, it seems that there has to be some other form of life out there.
But I never got why astronauts or motherfuckers assume that like a planet has to be one-to-one to Earth to have life. Like, I get it. I get the concept, right? For example, Earth was this, that, and a third, and it was able to produce life or equal life. But like, even then, the Earth has changed from numerous times, from numerous temperatures, etc. I don't think water is needed for every single alien species. Like, you would think an alien species would develop under their own conditions. You know what I mean? So I never got the whole concept of like a planet has to be one-to-one to Earth or like similar enough to Earth to like equate to life. For all we know, aliens could just fucking, I don't know, survive off like rocks and shit. Or like a species could survive off rocks and shit. And eat it up their ass. Freaky ass.
But maybe that's a privileged Earthling perspective. It seems like other beings must exist because, well, we exist. But until we know more about the origin of life, it's challenging to calculate just how lucky we are to be here.
Dude, imagine bone marrow babies were like just another alien species in space.
Because we've had it so relatively easy, space has—
Hold on, who's we? Hey, gang, who's we? Who's we? Not playing. I get it.
hasn't always been a source of fear. In the past, some cultures assumed it was a flat backdrop, a shallow dome of tiny lights surrounding a globe that sits in the center of the universe. Even as our understanding grew and the scale of the solar system became more and more apparent, many assumed we'd find other habitable worlds right next door. In the late 19th and early 20th
What the fuck?
century, the idea that Mars or the moon might be full of undiscovered life didn't seem so far-fetched. When your only frame of reference is the lushness of Earth, space seems like it would be jam-packed with extraterrestrials. Though once a distant dream, space travel was also once portrayed more flippantly. In Jules Verne's 19th century novel From Earth to the Moon, the lead characters make it to the moon by shooting their vessel out of a giant cannon, because why not? It was difficult to imagine the true nature of space.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If the Earth ever like blows up and humans are forced to like scatter to other planets, I'm turning into Spike Spiegel. Alright, my playlist is surviving somehow. I don't know how, fuck it. I'm turning into Spike Spiegel, Star-Lord, Space Cowboy, Han Solo shit. That's the, that's the vibe I'm on some nonchalant shit. No, Hoodydude, that's me. No, fuck you. I got it first.
A place where, without gravity, your bones rapidly lose density. A place where the lack of days and nights create insomnia. A place of silent, inhospitable lifelessness. Perhaps
But also cool visuals.
the closest
It's like a, I don't know.
this thing to true space madness manifested during the 1976 Soviet mission Soyuz 21.
Oh shit.
The operation was supposed to be routine, involving a 60-day stay on board the Salyut 5 space station.
What
But
happened?
just a few weeks in, the crew claimed a maddening odor had filled the cabin.
Someone was wearing Axe body spray.
A smell so toxic and persistent the operation had to be called off. Yet allegedly, upon the reserve crew's arrival, no unusual smell or fume leakage was detected. The scent was likely an intense delusion, a
Placebo.
nightmare
Yeah, placebo,
born from the
okay.
claustrophobic conditions mixed with the psychological terror of the
space,
cosmic
yeah.
vastness. Perhaps it's better to remain on the ground.
Yeah, I wanted to be an astronaut as a kid, but like, no. I don't think I could. Imagine looking out the window, bruh, and you see like just nothing. It's so vast. It's so empty. It's like North Carolina. Ain't nothing to do here. Well, unless you're in Charlotte. Well, what do you do? I live in a major city. So do motherfucker. I don't. I live in a small town. Dick, you fucking cuck. Ain't nothing to do but to hoop, play football, drugs. What else, gang? Go mudding. Ain't nothing to do in this bitch. I'm chilling. Oh, I get comic books. I love hey, comic books are peak. Hey.
But even in Earth's protective embrace, we are not completely safe from the cosmos.
I'd stop any meteorite.
Asteroids hurled from the beyond aren't just the stuff of disaster movies. Space rocks large enough to trigger mass extinctions have struck our planet in the past, wiping out far greater dynasties of life than humanity.
I don't think there's ever been a fucking better dynasty of humanity or like life than us. Like the dinosaurs were fucking each other and like eating, like, you know, I don't think so.
Even with Jupiter looking out for us, the Earth has close calls all the time.
That's also true.
And even if we aren't on an eventual collision course with an apocalyptic asteroid, we are on a collision course with the sun.
Also, we are on a collision course to another universe that we're gonna run into in like 2 trillion fucking years.
A few billion years from now, our sun will become a red giant.
Oh, and blow up, yeah. It's just scary. It used to traumatize me as a kid whenever the teacher first said that. Like, oh no, whenever I was watching the Magic School Bus, the teacher showed that. I vividly remember this. And then I think Miss Frizzle said some shit like, yeah, stars are known to blow up. And then Arnold brought up, hey, so what is our sun? A star. And then I was traumatized for like 2 weeks.
And in all likelihood swallow the Earth.
Yeah.
And even if we don't end in fire, the sun, like all stars in the universe,
will blow
is
up.
eventually going to die.
So appreciate life for what it is, not what you want. All right, live in the present. Fuck you. Yeah, I never really got that. You know, fearing like the fucking, obviously asteroids are a big fear. Like I used to be terrified of that shit. Well, and then I just got over it. Because what am I gonna do? I'll beat the asteroid's ass. Have you ever nuked the asteroid?
In 1816, many people became terrified that the sun's death was imminent. Telescopes discovered massive sunspots growing like mold upon the solar surface.
Cuddy, the sun got acne.
And temperatures began to drop. This event, called the Year Without Summer, saw
fire.
then unprecedented snowfall in the northern hemisphere. In the resulting chaos, the somewhat infamous Lord Byron was inspired to craft an apocalyptic eulogy simply titled Darkness.
Ooh.
I had a dream, which was not all a dream. The bright sun was extinguished and the stars did wander darkling in the eternal space. Rayless and pathless, and the icy earth swung blind and blackening in the moonless air.
Cuddy, motherfucker, you trying to extend the fucking essay word count, bro. Just say it was dark and cold.
Of course, the sun did not go out in 1816.
Nope.
The sunspots actually had nothing to do with the falling temperatures. The winter's true origin was the eruption of the Mount Tambora stratovolcano in the Pacific, which blanketed the globe in volcanic gas.
Fucking ash, yeah.
Though the shroud eventually lifted, I see it as a reminder of how fragile Earth's atmosphere is, of how little change it would take to make our planet just another barren rock.
I wonder if nitrous gas, like people smoking nitrous, contributes to like the air, like ozone layer just being fucked. Like imagine Kanye West, bruh. Imagine Kanye West single-handedly ruins the Earth's atmosphere with like his nitrous cutty. He's sitting there like Golden Freddy, like in the fucking while he's in nitrous, and then we all just die. That'd be kind of funny.
Perhaps impermanence is the true most frightening aspect of the cosmos.
Hold on, after this whole video, what the fuck does impermanence mean again? I forgot. Oh, something unlimited? Okay, I got you. She describes the impermanence of human existence. Alright, Cuddy, I'll live forever. I'll figure something out. Trust.
Even our galaxy won't endure forever. In roughly 4.5 billion years, the Milky Way will collide with the Andromeda Galaxy.
That's what I was talking about. It was like we're colliding to another galaxy.
Galactic fender bender flinging untold stars out into the void.
Galactic fender bender. Everyone is going to die.
If nothing lasts, if everything in the universe, ourselves included, is on an unchangeable arc towards annihilation, why try to preserve anything at all?
Cause like, why the fuck wouldn't I?
What meaning could a single image, a memory, a life possibly have?
Oh.
Maybe
memories.
permanence isn't what gives something value.
Impermanence.
Yes, every plant is going to wilt. Every radio signal is going to decay.
And yeah, you'll fumble a lot of bad bitches.
Every marshmallow is going to burn or be digested. On a cosmic scale, the golden record probably isn't going to get very far. So what? on a personal level, things that have been lost still matter. Moments still linger. The night sky can still move us, even with the knowledge that one day every light will go out and there will be no one left to witness the darkness.
Oh.
The trajectory of this ship is unchanging. I'm still going to water the plants. And hey, as always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel,
See, this is why it's important to have memories, bruh. Photos, live experiences, accepting stuff for what it is or what it's not, and what it's not going to turn out to be. And then you form dementia.